everybody. How is everyone doing? So, we need to be talking about this. And we have to understand that the Democrats, under the guise of liberalism and freeing yourselves, even though they gave you, not they gave you, but even though they encourage a lot of, how should I say, a lot of free thought, free thinking, and diversity. It obviously comes at a cost, does it not? Like, you have to believe certain things, and then you're free. Almost kind of like a religion, you know. And but just not exclusively that. We do see the why do are they against illegal immigration being deported? Well, let's look at a lot of things here. First of all, what's going on in Western countries? Well, things are starting to become so expensive because of all of these grandiose like taxes, ideas, and then it's all taxed. But then people, and it sounds all great, but let me tell you this: it ends up biting them, and no one can afford anything. And then they cry about all this corporate horseshit, but at the same time they rely on the corporations, which is pretty ironic, isn't it? Now they are we the it's all about conserving indentured servitude. That's what it is, because the modern Democrats, not the Democrats of old, but the modern Democrats, are about conserving what's theirs, and which is a legal way of indentured servitude, if you know what I mean. I didn't want to say the the outright word, but it has stems from the Slavs, if you know what I mean. So we are gonna have to have a big discussion about this. I'll make sure Celeste is on for this here, and yes. Let's get to it, everyone. Like the video, share it, and let's enjoy. Because I have a huge funny business that, not funny business, but are we not even gonna uh, touch upon how the Olympics were actually going to be hosted here in Los Angeles? It's like, to have any of these riots, in spite of it happening all over the country, why Los Angeles? Because it's flipping red? Because, oh, I don't know. Oh God. But let's check this out. I have a feeling that the man who the man who funded BLM and the George Floyd riots, because that's what basically this is. That's what this is all over again. The jerk off who funded the destruction of the, yeah. So we are gonna check this out.
Have done in the past. Look, this isn't just about protests here in Los Angeles. When Donald Trump sought blanket authority to commandeer the National Guard, he made that order apply to every state in this nation. This is about all of us. This is about you. California may be first, but it clearly will not end here. Other states are next. Democracy is next. Democracy is under assault before our eyes. This moment
give him credit. He is such a good snake.
First of all, what has democracy done for the country at large? What has big government? Democracy's at stake. Big government's at stake. Oh my God, says who's gonna fund and pay high taxes and make things unlivable only for the wealth of big corporations and billionaires and billionaires to afford houses. Meanwhile, we'll make sure that you stay in affordable housing and you don't have a fucking say in what happens to your fucking life. Democracy, at least modern democracy, does need to be threatened. What has democracy done for people? He's a threat to our democracy. Do people even know what that means? What democracy is? I bet you like 99% of these motherfuckers do not. Oh my God.
In the grass.
He's taking a wrecking ball to our founding fathers' historic project.
The founding fathers' historic project was to avoid democracy. They feared democracy. They said no democracy. No to democracy. Because where they were coming from was democratic, aristocratic. England, yeah. Are we not going to touch about how, like I said, I might have said this earlier, but democracy had several kings. Republican has one and a Senate. Back then in ancient Greece, they had city-states, and every city-state had a king. Rome or Italy had only one king. All right, they didn't have it, and this is what a lot of these people do not understand, that it's not sustainable. And not only is it not sustainable, but it really keeps a lot of people oppressed. Democracy, it should be threatened. You heard it here, folks.
3 co-equal branches of independent government. There are no longer any checks and balances. Congress is nowhere to be found. Speaker Johnson has completely abdicated that responsibility. The rule of law has increasingly been given way to the rule of Don.
You can pause it right here. By the way, he said the president didn't call him. I believe somebody from the president's camp showed the 2 clips of getting calls. I don't know if it's validated or not. It shows they spoke on 7th or something like that at 1:20 in the morning. You know, and people are coming back saying, well, that call never happened. This is President Trump saying that he called Gavin Newsom 1:23 in the morning. Was this fact check?
Wow. if this is true, Gavin Newsom had an outgoing call at 1:23 in the morning. So he called the president. He called P47 at 1:22 in the morning down here. And again, it didn't happen. And then he called him twice. They had a discussion that, and if this is Pacific time, that would have been 4:23 in the morning. What are you calling somebody in 4:20 in the morning? Wow. 4:20.
Grog by other people in Grog. Michael, did you see anything on fact checking with this one, or?
I didn't, and I refuse to believe that Gavin Newsom would lie about something like this.
Oh, you know what? That's a good point. I think that's a very
why
good,
would he
because
do
as
that?
a noble man, he would never do such a thing.
I mean, the only thing to question though, Pat, he saved it as Newsom. If it was really Trump, he would have put New Scum. If you
think
really
so?
know.
That's a good
I
point.
think so.
That's a good
But,
point.
but,
I
but
agree.
remember what Newsom said, Adam. I'm coming to you right after this.
Sure.
Rob, if you can go to that article, very interesting what he said. You have to listen to a couple of the words on what he said there. He said, this is not going to be California first. It's coming to you.
Right.
How does he know? How does he know?
Newsom is not California first, unfortunately, even though he's saying this is a threat to our democracy. Do you understand whenever someone says that to our democracy? When the hell did a Democrat last ever say, you know, I'm going to make sure that this state prospers. I'm going to help increase wages. I'm going to help make sure I'm going to make sure that when was the last time he said that they're going to help the economy grow? None. They always try to campaign on ways to get your freaking tax money. They don't say, how are we going to make life and things better? They're saying, oh, well, it's how are we going to make the world better? It's all about virtues. It's virtue signaling. You're not a real humanitarian if you don't freaking put in this. Well, that's the price of your combating climate change. That's the price of making sure that these causes. So these people are not even. These people do not even put their own state first. Forget the country. Okay? I'm not saying in general. I'm just talking about just for this topic. These governors, these Democratic governors, do not even put their own state first. They don't put their own state. They don't put in their own towns or anything first. They are not. I'm not saying you got the America first. That's not what I'm saying. But that's what a lot of Democrats are saying these days. I'm saying forget just for this moment, America first. The Democrats don't even put their own towns first. Let that sink in. And you think they're going to fucking, and you honestly think that they have your best interest when they are saying we need to cater to these crazies. We need to cater to people who want to child transitions, and illegals' rights, minorities, whatever. How does that help the modern day freaking civilian? How does that help the modern day civilian who pays their freaking taxes? How does that help the taxpayer? democracy doesn't help the taxpayer. Ooh! And it never will. Okay? They will this is exactly why I put that speech about Malcolm X. How if you vote Democrat, then you're a traitor to your race. Why did I play that? He said it. He said it himself. You put them first, they put you last. They always do that. They will always tell you, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And then they do not do anything that you voted them in for. They are always voting. They're not voting for, they don't campaign on anything of substance. They campaign on virtue and, certain privileges, but nothing of substance that will make sure that you want to vote for them. And you can fucking say, oh, well, both sides are guilty of doing this. That's just politics. No, it's not any more potent than the Democrats. Because and the reason why there are a lot of Republicans who jumped ship. Because I even remember, well, there are Republicans who joined forces with the Democrats, and they hate Trump that much. It's like, yeah, they hate him because he's actually doing what a lot of the Democrats promised but never did. He's doing what they say that they will do. He's doing. It's like, oh well, so you're saying that he's a Democrat? Kind of, he is. But you know what? He's America first, though. And a lot of comedians, a lot of people, a lot of boomers and Xers are going to say that no, he's Israel first. He's whatever this other thing first, and that's just simply not the case.
Axios, who's not a conservative platform, far from it. They said anti-Trump No Kings protests set for Cleveland, Northeast Ohio. If you go a little bit lower, these are the places it's coming to. This is their plan that they've put together. Go a little.
So all of the riots are not even in Republican towns. These are all cities, big cities. Look at this. This is where Antifa hits.
A little bit lower.
Bring it on. Bring
exactly.
it on, baby.
And it's talking about how this is the one that came out 3 hours ago. I want to see the one, Rob, that says how many cities it's going to and who's funding it. It's there to go right there to the bottom. Millions of people are estimated to protest.
I just brought on Celeste. How are you?
Sorry, yeah, technical difficulties but I'm back.
Yeah.
Anything.
So what's your input on what I've on what I've been saying?
Yes, I was trying to get on, but I think I saw where the protests are taking place with parts of the country.
Yeah, they're showing they're showing it like right here. It's all Democrat places.
Yeah. Why am I not surprised?
I mean, it's all the cities, but maybe besides maybe Vegas or is that Vegas down over there? I know. That big circle is San Francisco, Los Angeles.
Wow, there's a lot going on in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well,
These are the places it's coming to. This is their plan that they've put together. Go a little bit lower.
Bring it
Rob.
on. Bring
Exactly.
it on, baby.
And it,
You want to know? You want to know what's crazy is that, let me tell you this. I would actually think, if the Republicans actually have a fucking spine, I will say I will actually think that it would be hilarious for this to continue. And
Mhm.
this might be some nihilism right here. I'm not, even though I'm not a nihilist.
Sure.
But I think it would be hilarious if all of these blue cities got burnt by their own people that they're funding. And the reason why I say that is because then who's going to be there to vote for them? Who's going to be there to even do whatever that
Mhm.
they need?
Yeah.
They're running everybody away.
Crazy, huh?
And then they think that they're going to win anything. I honestly think that the Democratic Party is about to basically get eliminated and be replaced by something different. And that would not be the first time, because if we look at the first up until Abe Lincoln, which he was the 16th, the first couple of at least the first few, yeah, we had like the first few. I mean, I think the only president that at least under this banner was John Adams, who was a Federalist. But and then it was Federalist and then Democrat / Republican. It was both parties were one once upon a time. But but after a certain, and then you had the Whig Party
Mhm.
as well. And we had, and there were a couple of Whig presidents. And I'm saying I honestly think we had like 2 or 3 former political parties that went extinct. Do you think that the Democratic that it's going to be Republican, and maybe not MAGA, but Republican and something different?
But yeah, I could see that. I could see that happening.
Because what would it be? Maybe like what, green?
Yeah, or yeah, yeah, because a lot of people are very yeah, very pro environment, which is not a bad thing. But yeah, I could see that.
I'd actually like to. Can we draw cards on that? Will the if the Green Party is going to replace the Democratic Party, even though it's going to be ridden with radical crazies, but that's pretty much and pretty much the Republican Party is going to be like for the middle class and lower, and it's always going to be a bidding war between the rich and the working class.
Mm-hmm. Let me see.
Are we seeing basically the downfall of the Democratic Party as just even a party to run on? Because
Okay. Let me, let's see here. Um, all right. So, what is the exactly?
is this the genesis of basically the extinction of the Democratic Party?
Okay. Is this
Basically,
Will
Yeah,
will the Democratic Party be replaced?
play by by another party. It could be green, it could be libertarian, it could be. I saw one a crazy one called the Peace and Love Party, or just like
That she's part of that. I could see that.
who?
My mom.
Oh,
Okay. Will the Democratic Party be replaced? The Hermit.
mm.
10 of
Her-
Swords. Well, that's the end of something.
hermit isn't a hermit of, is kind of like the loner.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hidden. It's it also is hidden. It's like,
Mm.
I think you're right. But it's I think it is, but it's being done quietly. It's going to be done.
Well,
It's,
yeah.
yeah. Yep.
Because well, of course it's going to be done quietly, because I think, well, is can we get more on the hermit? So if it's being done quietly, does that mean
Or
uh,
just
are people saying, you know what, this is kind of ridiculous, I don't want to vote for this party anymore?
what could I get a clarifier on the Hermit? The Empress. Okay, well that's a definite. So I think it's being done.
Mm.
It's in the works, as a lot of the corruption comes forward. It's going to be, and they are, it's going to be at their demise. And once all this stuff comes out to light and is made known and closed, yeah, they're no longer, all the corruption comes out, all the smoke and mirrors and the dirty deals, and the money laundering and all that stuff. Yeah, I
Wow.
think you're on to. Yep. Yep.
I'll have to change the title of I'll have to change the title of the the stream here because of that.
Oh yeah.
I added it. I added it. Oh, thank God. Democratic Party being replaced.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Looks
By the
like you're right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
oh man,
Yeah.
that's
It's talking about how this is the one that came out 3 hours ago. I want to see the one, Rob, that says how many cities it's going to and who's funding it. It's there to go right there to the bottom. Millions of people are estimated to protest in more than 1,500 cities across 50 states. The whole thing is called the No Kings. And by the way, you know who's one of the people that's funding this? If you go on ChatGPT, Rob, and
again. Democracy had multiple kings.
ask
I thought you guys were educated.
who is funding the No Kings protest? Who is funding the No Kings?
Hi, Mr. Wonderful here. I don't waste time, and I definitely don't waste money. I joined Start Engine as
protest that is taking place. If you go to this one, it tells you Christy Walton is one of the names. Christy Walton is one of the Waltons. She's, I think, the poorest one because I think she's only worth 19 or 20 billion dollars.
What a loser.
Yeah. Okay. And no to coincide with Trump's birthday plan, the military prayer, primary promoting the Walton-Ayers. She funded full-page paid advertisement in New York Times and regional papers, encouraging Americans to reject authoritarianism.
Who is Christy Walton? Let's,
I never heard of her.
let's American philanthropist.
Oh, philanthropist, huh? It's all the philanthropists and the NGOs.
Oh my God. Let's can
Oh, wow.
she's worth 19.4 billion.
How did she get that?
76 years old.
Wow. And what good things is she doing in the world? What's her title?
Let's see. I've never heard of this bitch.
Me neither.
And I call her a bitch because she is a bitch.
Yeah.
Okay, so is an American billionaire Harris and philanthropist is the widow of John T. Walton, who was one of the sons of the Walmart founders. Oh, so she's an inheritance of Walmart.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Oh God.
So what makes her so special? What's other than that she's insanely wealthy?
Well, we all know that these billionaires want to create these causes, or like create these charities or whatever. So yeah, her husband died in a home built blah 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 blah. She's been the richest woman in the world. Oh my God. All right, so philanthropy profiled by Condé Nast Portfolio magazine in the Giving Index. She ranked as the highest female philanthropist according to the amount she gives as a percentage of her wealth, and at an estimate. Oh, so this is basically a fucking she's basically a lobbyist.
Oh, okay.
Nonprofit organizations in which Walton is actively serving include National Association of Trustees and Staff, corporate giving officers, and individual donors of the Philanthropy Roundtable, the San Diego History Natural Museum, blah 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 blah. Okay, well, what makes her a fucking philanthropist then? Walton backed the Lincoln Project, an anti-Trump super PAC, which ran ads at battleground states. She donated 20 grand to the Lincoln Project, and a further 10 grand. You're worth billions of dollars, and you freaking throw out chump change like that. At least chump change to you.
Wow. Damn.
They're worth $250 billion right here. And she throws out 10 grand. Bitch, please.
Wow.
So many people, they're worth so much money, and this is and this is a communist talking point, but this is but I understand. But let me tell you this is why you need to stop fucking. It's okay if you're paying an extra $2-3 for your fucking groceries, or an extra $20 for your groceries at a local farmer's market. This is why you're so many people are broke and poor, because you're too fucking cheap. I can't afford $5. That I can get a better deal from Walmart. Yeah, and you wonder why the billionaires are always top dog.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're too fucking lazy. All right, but back to this here.
And engage in civic protest. The protests themselves are organized by the 50-50 One movement alongside with over 100 civil liberties and pro-democracy groups. Some online chatter are saying, speculated that Walmart or billionaire George Soros were bankrolling it.
Okay, so it's good that they touched on Christy Walton, because
So she's funding these protests.
by the looks and sounds of it, that's exactly.
Wow.
If it's not Soros, it's her.
Damn.
There's a lot of speculation here of what's going on, but the reality of it is, Newsom didn't just say they're coming to a city near you because he's a predictor. No. They've been on conference calls.
Right.
This is a plan.
Now, does the Waltons lady not understand that when these peaceful cries of joy come to cities all around the country, that Walmart's...
Now, understand, everybody, I am not the biggest fan of any of these people. I just am glad that they're touching upon how these riots may be backed by Soros and other like anti-America billionaires.
are going to be looted as well.
Yeah, good.
Is she not concerned about that?
Yeah.
What do you think? Which Walton is this, though?
This is
Is-
Christy Walton.
Is Christy Walton an executive and a decision maker at Walmart? Because I can only imagine if she's not, and imagine the other siblings who are, and this was the one that maybe she smoked pot in school and she was the party one and didn't really take life seriously and didn't like the fact that the parents were rich and, you know, it's like, it's about the people. All we care about is money. Okay, she owns roughly 1.9 to 2% of the company, does not hold any official role, which makes sense, or board of directors. She is a prominent shareholder. She takes no part in management decisions. Oh my, I can only imagine how furious
her brother and
other
sister
brothers are saying, what are you doing?
That's how you know she's funding it. She has nothing else to do.
Yeah.
No responsibility.
She is. This bitch, she's collaborating with Soros. Or it could be her, actually. And not Soros. So this title is misleading, at least as of now. I will correct this. I would actually make it into a question and not as so much as a statement.
Right.
So no, it is not backed by Soros. It's backed by this elite who happened to be the wife of the owner of Walmart, and she is not even she's barely even a 2% shareholder. And this bitch is worth billions of dollars. What the fuck, man?
And can I add something?
Yeah.
That's a great point. So I mean, it's just another billionaire, money hiding behind activism. She's pretending it's democracy, but the no king.
Isn't it hilarious how everybody, so many people who say he's a threat to our democracy, it's all these rich, bougie motherfuckers. It's not bougie. Bougie is bougie's middle class, but it's these rich elite motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
We're not talking about like worth $5 million and they got a nice house or something like that. We're not even talking about they're worth $50 million and they've got like a mansion or two and a vacation home. We're talking about billionaires worth, or even what, people who are worth hundreds of millions of dollars, billions, hundreds of billions, who freaking have a say in everything that we do in our, and just, they give out the jobs, they give out all this other stuff. You got and they fund. They say that they have your best interest, but then what are they funding?
King's protests are organized.
And it's all backed. People want to say, well, you know, both sides, the Democrats and the Republicans, they're the uniparty. The reason why, let me tell you this about MAGA. Trump the thing about P45, I said his name. Trump broke that. Have you seen how many fucking Republicans have sided with the Democrats, sided with the lobbyists?
Oh yeah, totally. I know. I mean, these people
So,
claim to be anti-establishment, and they were for the common man and liberty and all this stuff. You know, they're siding with all the corporations and the lobbyists and politicians that and their puppets, or the puppets who are the politicians. They're
and
they're supporting exactly those people. It's yeah.
and
It's
there was
crazy.
some dumbass communist who fucking said that, me George Carlin, it's a big club and you're not in it, and
Oh yeah.
they're both from the same side. You know, he's on the same side as them. It's like, dude, he isn't. What money does he's running on his own fucking pockets?
Yeah. Yeah, nobody's funding him. Nobody's paying for him. I mean, I know Elon did
So,
donate a generous amount to his campaign. He really did, you know, but other other than, you know, like maybe something from grassroots or something. I mean, he used his own money. I mean, there's no lobbyists that funded his campaign. It was all, you know, if anybody helped, it was independent voters. It was just people that volunteered to put in like $10 here and there, but you know, that's pretty much, and it's just him, you know.
yeah, predominantly, yeah.
Yeah.
Also by a group called.
So no, he's not backed by billionaires, because he's backed by himself predominantly. And you want to say that he was backed by Elon and stuff like that. Elon did that on his own will.
Yeah, exactly.
He
No,
didn't. He
not,
did not request Elon to be
no,
MAGA.
Elon did that voluntarily. He did it. There was no written agreement or anything like, oh, you know, you did this for me and you get this. It wasn't like that. It was just Elon.
No,
It's something he believed in. It's something he stood behind and he backed, you know. I mean, I don't know Elon's personal reasons for doing that. But but
I,
he yeah,
I
he
have a I have a hypothesis on why he did. Remember when he went to like the World Economic Forum, and and he told all of them to go fuck themselves, because
Mm,
they were trying to get his money from him, or something like,
yeah.
I forgot exactly what it was, but it was but he told everybody in that meeting to go fuck themselves.
Right.
Like and yeah, that it was clear cut that he was just like saying, no, I'm not your fucking puppet.
Called Indivisible, which is founded by Ezra Levin and Leah Greenberg. They both authored a 23-page Google Doc called Practical Guide for Resisting the Trump Agenda. Some people online have claimed that they're communists, and guess, you'll never guess who donated. And I know they mention him, but $7,600,000 to that group is George Soros. At the
No
end,
way.
at
Oh my gosh.
Stop
it,
at the
Vinny.
end of
Chump
all,
change,
Yeah,
man.
you think Soros is just funding all this?
And Mike, and
I thought
here's-
he was
oh,
clean
is.
air and
My bad.
forestry.
And I want to ask a question, Mike. It seems to me that the majority of these events, this destruction, this chaos in America, always goes back to the money, and it's George Soros. How do we not hold that guy accountable when he is the nucleus? He's the main problem, and now obviously he's getting older, and it's going to go down to his son.
It's probably already moved down to his son. I mean, he's a huge player, obviously, and he's not the only one. I mean, I remember when the USAID thing came out. What was so shocking about it was not that we spend money on a bunch of activist nonsense, is that we would spend money. It would go to places like the Tide Center, which is ostensibly international. Then the Tide Center would give money to BLM, so come right back into America. They'd extort the politicians and the businesses, and then it was this kind of vicious cycle. And Soros operates in this way. You know, he's very involved in the affairs of certain countries. Hungarian politics, obviously Orban hates him.
Who won't let him come back home?
Yeah, smart guy, that Orban.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's very involved in American politics because we're the imperial hegemon. But you know, he gets away with it because we do have certain constitutional protections that can be exploited by very bad actors. Now, this was very annoying during like the year of our Floyd, when you know the libs were burning the country down.
Our Floyd.
But what's so funny about this? It ain't 2020 anymore. You know, I think you're seeing that in the response to Los Angeles. This no kings thing is so laughable because Trump won the popular vote. So what do you say the guy's turning himself into a dictator or a tyrant?
This is just going to make it more and more and more and more popular.
Mm-hmm.
And people are going to demand a third term.
Yeah, especially now that they could prove that 2020 was definitely rigged. We all knew it was rigged.
Yeah.
Even without seeing proof, we just knew, you know.
Yeah. I think he's going to get granted a third term
Mhm.
on the House.
And I believe that they have, oh, they definitely, you know, Doge looked into all of that. You know, they have proof of all of that. They have that, you know. There's so many that are, yeah, they're going to expose all this stuff. And you know, if it's not him, it'll be one of his kids, I think. I don't know which one.
Oh, the thing is that people are going to say, oh, this is the fall of the Roman Empire.
Mhm.
Again, this might be the fall of the Roman Empire, but it could be the rise of the Ramses Empire, but generational. Because you know damn good and well if the economy keeps at this,
Mhm.
and you know, things get better, and he follows suit, I have a sense that there's going to be a Trump dynasty. There really will be. Because a lot of people are scared of going back to the ways of Biden, the ways of Obama, the ways of Bush. They do not. Here's the thing. When you have something so freaking good, it may not be perfect, but it's good. It's really good. Again, what 47 is doing, his persona and his politics by no means are perfect, but it keeps things pretty functional, and it's like, this is what America was. When you have something so freaking good, you do not want to take any risks. So what are so many people going to do? They're going to either They're going to demand extensive terms, with the exception of Trump, or they're going to always vote for a Trump kid, because they do not want. But the thing is that they're going to have to make sure what Donald, how he functioned and why he was president, and they need to keep his legacy going. And I think people are going to willingly vote the Trumps in, because they don't want to go back to that fucking mess. They don't want to go back to the Bush years either. Not the Clinton years even. This is the America that a lot of Americans want. This is the American dream. And they know it's going to take a little while to do, but the thing is that things are legitimately progressing. Things are growing. It's a freaking mess, but the darkest night is just before the dawn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most people voted for him. And so it's fizzling. It's causing the Democrats to flail. George Soros is a very nefarious actor, and he's done a lot of true evil in politics, as have many other Democrat donors. But the one consolation that we should keep in mind is,
I read all these books on procrastination, and I gotta tell you, we've been lied to. It turns out procrastination...
He's not omnipotent. And even though it feels like the libs are omnipotent a lot of the time, they're actually not. And in this battle right now, I want to go all in. I want to donate to this, because this no kings thing,
that's right.
To me, it's an arbitrage opportunity. Like, I just think for the
right.
Republicans, every new one that pops off is getting us more and more votes, more and more of those shirtless Mexican guys making videos saying, I'm for Trump.
I think you're giving Soros a little too much credit, because he's sort of the poster child for this. But let's give credit where
he's not
credit's
saying
due.
that. He's not saying that.
I'm talking to Vinny.
Yeah.
I'm just
pointing
out
where
the
money's
coming from. Listen, there's some unsung heroes as well that deserve some credit for sowing the chaos.
Yeah.
Let's not let these people go without being mentioned, at least as honorable mentions. Give a shout out to Qatar for funding all the billions that they poured in. You got to give China some respect for sowing all the discord. Iran, give them a little credit. It's not just Soros.
Are they paying for these?
They're all involved.
For this?
Some way or another.
I don't know
All
about
this
that.
chaos. Have you ever seen the 3-arm thing? Where it's like when these three...
I would say maybe in the politics of things, but not in the deportation. Pet peeve shit.
But there's a lot of terrorist groups here. You know that they're
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Between the cartels and a lot of these different terrorist organizations and groups and gangs. I mean, it's
that's what this is ultimately about, to be honest.
Yeah, they've been funneling money to support these gangs.
Destroy from within.
Yep.
Three types
Adam,
of groups
we're on the story
get together.
on California.
I know.
Is Iran funding the protests in California?
Or Qatar?
Iran and Qatar have been funding all sorts of globalist, Marxist, jihadist agendas. The ICE thing is just a blip on the radar for what Michael pointedly pointed out. ICE is one element of this.
Yeah.
The bottom line is it's the destruction of the West. It's the destruction of America. This is one element of it. Why at Mexican ICE protests do you see Gaza flags constantly?
The cafeterias
Constantly.
or whatever. Yeah.
Do you ever
And they're using the Democratic Party to do it.
hear Mexicans talking about Gaza? No, because it's all one interweaved agenda to destroy America, and this is just one element of that.
Well, we got a clip here we want to show. Thank you for that, Adam. This is
I think
brought to you by Iran.
can use the prop, but I think the problem is much bigger than them, and it's much more insidious.
Yeah, Mexico, I believe, is just a scapegoat.
Yeah.
It's not the what's really going on. That's not the real issue, nor is it
You know, they're trying to tell us, oh, the poor Mexicans, and look at everything they do. And of course, hey, I love Mexico.
it's the jangling keys. It's
Yeah.
the jangling. This is the jangling keys
The
you
cartel.
hear.
obviously, but yeah. But it's they're using them as they're the poster child, you know.
Yeah. No,
That's
I
all.
mean, what's funny is that whenever you talk about the losers or the subculture, they make the hasty generalization and say, oh well, you know, because you hate these people, you must hate all of these people. It's like, no, we don't. We just like the we don't like the dregs.
And we don't even like the dregs in our own culture. I mean, come on.
No, at all. We
Yeah.
don't like the drug smugglers. We don't like anybody who commits crimes or beats people up unjustifiably.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we don't like any of that. And that's just a. And again, if you in your head, if you think that I hate a certain color of people just because I I'm a I hate the fucking losers, the dregs of a culture, that makes you racist because you think they represent that culture. The losers are that loser, the losers that they're the loser, the crazies, the criminals. You think that's the equivalent of the normal, average, everyday working class person? You're a fucking retard.
Mm-hmm.
No, and that makes you racist. And the reason why I say that is because I was told, uh, I was I was told that oh, I guess you just don't like this group of people by you know what I'm talking about. This is the
Mm-hmm.
audience doesn't know it, but it's like no,
Oh yeah.
yeah, but it's like no, that the fact that it the fact that you equate and something like that, it's I don't want to get into it.
Adam's message right there. He wants to make sure his sponsors the lobbies from Iran.
No, you gotta give. I said Qatar and China.
Oh,
I know
forgive
you're.
us. We wanna make
You
sure-
only heard Iran.
Shout out to Qatar.
You
as
got to
well,
give
folks.
Qatar
Okay,
some
that's right.
credit.
This weekend is Flag Day, okay? And we're celebrating a lot of different things. And in
Is that the end of it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
That's important. So, yeah, crazy.
And what's crazy is, and what's even crazier is that's the only video about the yeah. I went on to Rumble. I went on to other sources, even BitChute, and no one is touching that. No one is actually saying that this is backed by Soros.
There's some I've seen some, but who've alluded to that, or at least hinted it, or found something out. They talk about it a little bit, but I always had a feeling Soros was. Oh, I mean, he definitely funds Antifa, and a lot of these protesters and looters are also Antifa.
Yeah, and if you actually look at the formats and all of these, it's all formatted as if it was Antifa.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Like I was talking with my brother earlier, and he, pointed out how they're saying, how Latinos, don't like 47, and it turns out that he has quite a few. He has quite a higher percentage of Latin votes higher than most people would anticipate. So they're, that's totally not true in reality, and they know what's going on. I mean,
Oh
most
no, yeah,
yeah.
people need to understand. Oh, there is we can actually touch upon this next next time, but there there actually is a huge panic going on with the Democratic Party. They
Mhm.
do see losing a lot of the young male vote. They're the men are not voting Democrat anymore.
Right.
So,
Well,
and that
because
scares them.
male and they've been demonizing men, and a lot of young guys especially, they grew up with this, they were browbeaten with it in school, and they're really getting sick of it. They're just like, what, me being a man is toxic? I mean, what are you talking about? I mean, yes, toxic masculinity is obviously a real thing, and a lot of us at some point in our lives have experienced some variation of that. Some people had extreme examples of that, some minor, but we've all experienced variation. But toxic femininity is a very real thing too, and I know there's people out there that are um feminist apologists, whatever you want to call it, like females can do no wrong, or if they do wrong it's because you know of abuse or that. But that's not always true too, because there's a lot of women that are spoiled and extremely entitled and egotistical, and
I would
you
argue because of this.
hmm because a lot of women that are abused, I mean, there are some cases where it's like, okay, well, I was abused and I'm going to get back at you. But in most cases, women that are abusive and have this entitled attitude, we're actually pretty spoiled more often than not. So, um,
And
so,
that all starts with the household. Yeah,
mhm.
because there are a lot of spineless turd neglectful fathers
Or
who
there's,
will just
yeah,
who will just fork over their wallets to their daughters, and they never say no. Daddy's little girl sort of thing.
mhm,
Like or mommy's little princess.
mhm.
and and then that is no, having a weak that
Yeah, give them any boundaries, or they didn't get any consequences for terrible behavior. In fact, it was enabled, so that's what enabled them to be the way they are, and they never grew out of it.
yeah, and a lot of people did. I shouldn't say, and a lot of people, but a lot of those women never needed to, because
Mm,
they were they were always supported by some sucker.
sure.
That's let's keep it a B here. Let's they just they're supported by people who they have no intentions of doing anything with,
Mhm.
but
No, I've
whatever.
heard about it. Like, I don't know if this is still going on, but I have some friends, they're not doing it personally, but they know people around them. They like women who have 4 different boyfriends, and they all support their lifestyle, whether it's paying for her apartment, paying for her livelihood, just, and they, I mean, she doesn't have to work or anything. She just has to sleep with them, or just she's just there, and it's that's how they I guess instead of getting married, that's what they choose to do. I don't know how long they're able to keep that up, but you know,
I
like there's some crazy, yeah, there's some different arrangements. I'll put it that way.
yeah, and I want to, if you want to touch upon something crazy like that in the next episode. I mean, I can send you a video because it is absolutely freaking ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
It's horrible. Like, but 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 it's on that note on what you just said. You know, it's so freaking asinine and just out of this blue crazy. I'll give you a spoiler.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't married to this person, but she helped him with his business, and because and they broke up, but she still demanded him because she worked for him at the time. She's entitled to endless payment. Because I worked for you and and I helped your business do this, so some form of it was unemployment pay or something. So she kind of had forced him to pay her rent, her nails, her car,
Wow.
all these payments. And
Wow.
unfortunately, it's like, no, there's an epidemic. This is exactly what the Democratic Party has become. It's a bunch of, they need to emasculate men because they prey on simps. I would say the Democratic Party has become the predator party,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't mean that. And I mean financial predator.
Hold on one second. No, I didn't give him his second meal.
Yeah, I just muted. I muted you. You tell me when you can
Oh no.
All right, I unmuted you. I didn't want to have them hear that.
Anyway, I may have to go pretty soon, but I but thank you for having me on, and thank you if you watched, and I'll see you hopefully in the future.
All right, we'll catch on Monday. Okay? See you
Okay,
Monday.
sounds good. Thank you.
Sounds good. All right, everybody. That's about it, at least for now. Like, share, and subscribe, and keep on being you. All right, unless if you're a commie.